the largest Knights of the Golden Circle treasure ever found. Imagine finding 5,000 gold coins in a pot buried under your house. Inconceivable, right? But that is exactly what happened to the two Baltimore, Maryland boys in 1934. The coins, at least most of them, were handed over to the police, and a prolonged illegal battle ensued between the boys and the elderly landlords who owned the crumbling inner-city tenement house. In the end, young Henry Grobb and Theodore Jones prevailed, with the coins being sold at auction and the proceeds being put into trust until the teens reached age 21. For the past 80 years, it has been assumed that the golden fortune belonged to some unfortunate miser who had passed on without revealing to anyone where the treasure had been stashed. However, new evidence has recently surfaced that points directly to a secret confederate society known as the Knights of the Golden Circle, KGC, as the source of the immense treasure worth more than $10 million in today's economy. The Knights were one of the country's most successful Southern rights clubs, which agitated for more political power for the South. They opposed the abolitionist, Northern churches, and other Yankee movements that sought to interfere with the Southern economy, Southern society, and way of life. The KGC sought to have newly freed slaves returned to Africa, and they opposed the international ban on the African slave trade that exported additional slaves from the continent. Captain John J. Mattison, one of the 19th century owners of the treasure house on Baltimore's South Eden Street, had his own ship, the Eliza Davidson, seized off the coast of Sierra Leone for such illegal activities. KGC members also sought to add new slaveholding territories through the peculiar 19th century institution known as the filibustering, when Texas was annexed from Mexico by slave-owning Americans and added to the Union as a newly minted slave state. Other Southerners saw an entrepreneurial opportunity of immeasurable proportions. Plots were hatched to invade Cuba, Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua, and other lightly defended Latin American countries. All were squashed, foiled, or fell apart before being launched. The KGC, which boasted some 3,000 members in Baltimore alone, was known to collect dues and initiation fees in the form of gold coins. Some of that money was not set aside in anticipation of funding Latin America expedition that never materialized. With the national rise to power of Abraham Lincoln and his Republican Party, the KGC soon found a new enemy to oppose. The KGC sought to keep Lincoln from getting to the White House, even if it meant assassinating him on his ride to the inauguration in Washington, D.C. In 1861, and if that drastic plan failed, the KGC would spring into action to bring about Southern secession and formation of the Confederate States of America. One of the angry Baltimore's who joined the KGC as Lincoln was ascending to power was the hot-blooded young Chesapeakean named John Wilkes Booth. Booth had lived on Exeter Street and is said to have been inducted into the KGC during a ceremony at a house in his neighborhood. Many top Baltimore officials are said to have attended Booth's swearing-in done in the house parlor, which was decorated with busts and paintings of Southern politicians and heroes. Booth took a solemn vow to protect the South and the new Confederacy at all costs. Not by chance, on South Central Avenue at this time, just 4/10 of a mile from Booth's home, lived a candle and soap company executive named Andrew Salisbury. Salisbury was an ardent Southern sympathizer whose home parlor would later be identified as having paintings of Confederate heroes adorning the walls. We know this because Salisbury's daughters would testify to this as an elderly woman at the 1935 trial for ownership of the 5,000 gold coins. Captain Mattison, the secret slaver, lived just around the corner from Southern sympathizer Salisbury, one adjoining Eden Street, the site of the 5,000 gold coins.